Hello everyone, let me give you the quick rundown on all the V4 changes. Let's start off with Heng. His light cone's shield effect provided was nerfed by around 15%. Right, nothing all that significant. Well, 15-20%, I'm not sure, somewhere around there. It is what it is. However, overall, Heng did receive a buff, with his base attack being increased by nearly 100, and the ult cost is reduced by 5 energy, which isn't all too significant, but anything helps, right? So, the shield he provides to allies when he ults was basically just straight up doubled, right? Alongside this, he now regenerates 6 energy every time bondmate uses an attack instead of 5. So, you regen more energy, and there's a lower ult cost, just making it easier for him to have better uptime on the dragons in the action bar, most likely. After this, we get the... Oh wait, no, that's it. Yeah, yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's it for Heng. After this, we have Evernight. So for Evernight, her skill was changed a bit, right? So before, she would give all ally memo sprites 60% crit damage. However, now she gives 30% crit damage. Another thing is, her older skill used to consume 10% of Evernight's max HP, while now it consumes 10% of current HP, right? And this is basically just an overall nerf to the skill, I'm pretty sure, but it's when we get into other stuff after this where she actually gets buffed a bit, where her ultimate, okay, I know I just said buffed, but her personal damage got nerfed, at least in the darkest riddle state, but her sub DPS capability got buffed. So before, the damage received by all enemies increased by 24%, which is basically just vulnerability when she's in her darkest riddle state, which she gets 2 stacks of from her ult. This has been changed to 30%, so now she gives 30% vulnerability while being in the darkest riddle state, and the damage dealt by Evernight and Memo Sprite increases by 60%, while in the previous version it was 100%, right? Now, here is where we get overall buffs. Her Trace 1 added that when using abilities, consumes 5% of the unit's current HP to increase crit damage by 15% for 2 turns. Then we as well have her E2. It got buffed slightly, where she now gives 40% crit damage to herself and her Memo Sprite in E2. Now, I'm not sure if this consuming HP thing is enough to make up for the damage loss. Maybe, right? I doubt it though. But the damage loss shouldn't be too bad if I had to guess, because of the fact that she now consumes her own HP every time she does anything, which for those who don't know, it is quite important, as this is how March gains Memoria, and Memoria is basically the stack she needs as much as possible to do as much as possible damage against enemies. So I haven't seen any showcases yet. I can't truly give a fully, well fleshed out opinion on how I think she'll perform. However, this should 100% be a buff to sub DPS with Cassie, even if it isn't anything crazy. However, how it affects her main DPS, I'm not sure, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night, and peace out.